Hey garden friends, it's time to talk about the dreaded black spot. I saw a post today in our very large gardening group in Louisiana called Louisiana Gardeners. It's a fabulous group. If you live in the South and love to garden, join it. There's so much great information on there. But anyway, people are starting to see and talk about and ask about black spot. So what is black spot? Black spot is a fungal infection that is found on roses, particularly in high humidity environments like ours down here in the South. Black spot comes from spores that come up from the soil, tends to start in spring. And you will see it start more on the bottom leaves and kind of work its way up generally. And that's because the spores are coming from overwintered, dried leaves and spores that were on the top of the mulch or in the mud. Does black spot kill roses? I guess potentially it could kill a rose that is already unhealthy. I have about 90 roses now, and I have never had black spot come close to killing a rose. In fact, I don't really believe the black spot has even affected blooming of my roses. So what do we do about black spot in an organic no spray garden? I don't judge how anybody gardens or how anybody grows their roses at all, but I choose to grow organically and do not spray because my focus is building an ecosystem in my garden. So I don't want to hurt potential pollinators or beneficial insects. I also don't want to damage the microbes in my soil, and spraying will potentially do all of that. So what do we do about black spot in a no spray garden? Well, if we have time and if we can, we walk our garden at least every day or every other day, and we pull off and defoliate the affected leaves. So the less that the black spot is actually on the bush, the less it is going to spread. We also clean up leaf debris at the bottom of the shrub. So if you have a choice, water in the morning. Now, I don't usually get to water in the morning. If I'm going to water, it's usually in the evening. But one thing you really do have to do is water at the base. Don't water at the top of the plant. Don't get these leaves soaking wet because obviously moisture encourages more fungal growth. Mulch. Mulch helps prevent the fungus in the soil from splashing up onto the bottom of your leaves. We also want to prune our roses, take away some of the center branches that opens up the branches and leaves airflow. Airflow obviously is detrimental to fungus. And what I think is most important is nutrifying the soil. I will say it until the cows come home or the pigs fly or the Saints win another Super Bowl. Healthy soil builds healthy plants, and healthy plants can fight off pests and disease better. Nutrifying the soil means we are developing and supporting the microbiome underground, which is the fungus and the bacteria that live in there and help support our roots, which supports our healthy plants. I add compost, mushroom compost I love. I love the cheap Gardenese compost from Home Depot. You can do homemade compost, you can do aged manure. Do not do chicken manure. It is too hot, it will burn the plants. Actually, the only manure that you can use unaged and fresh is rabbit manure. So if you have rabbits pooping in your yard, scoop up those little pellets, throw it in your soil. Think about what you feed your plants. I don't use synthetic fertilizers because they do nothing to benefit the roots of the plant. I use natural fertilizers. I particularly love the tone products, garden tone, plant tone, rose tone, any of the tones. It doesn't have to be rose tone. Those have good bacteria and natural nutrients like bone meal and blood meal and such, which really benefit the soil. And then we buy roses that are disease resistant. So I use a website called helpmefind.com. It's an excellent resource, and people will put input on cold tolerance, heat tolerance, disease resistance, fragrance, rain tolerance, all these different factors when it comes to thinking about purchasing a rose. So, I mean, I have 90. There's lots of them, guys. Very good for our climate are the Cortez roses. One of the most popular is called the Sunbelt Savannah rose, which is a beautiful pink, luscious scent. So, can we have beautiful roses with black spot? Yes. Look at this rose bush here. This is a prime example. This is mother of pearl, which is a rose that does tend to get some black spot. And look at all of these buds. 1, 2, 3, at least 20 to 25 buds about to burst open on this first spring flush. As the summer months go on, my experience has been that the black spot does get worse. Towards July, August, black spot prone roses will be looking pretty ratty. We're kind of taking a break from the heat. We're not out walking our gardens as much either. So, it doesn't bother me. And I think, as an organic gardener, we have to accept that the plants are not always going to be pure perfection. And that's okay. This is nature. We are here to work with Mother Nature, not against her, right? Building an ecosystem and having an organic no spray garden at the end of the day is less stressful and less work than spraying. It's kind of my spiel on black spot in a southern garden. Hope it helps you guys. And I hope that you guys are getting into roses. They are wonderful plants to grow, and we absolutely can grow them in a hot and humid southern garden. Y'all have a great day. Happy gardening, y'all.